December in the gun world means chaos. Glass cases empty, phones ringing nonstop, and every dealer scrambling to restock the same handguns before the year's out. This isn't influencer hype or a guess at what should sell. This is what buyers grabbed first, even when prices ticked up and options got slim. Walk into half the shops around DFW and you'll hear the same thing. We had it yesterday, it's gone now. That's how you spot the real movers. Nobody rolls the dice on a bad pistol in December, not when you're spending real money on a year-end hunt or wrapping up the one thing a family member actually asked for. That's when only the proven guns move and everything else gets left in the bargain bin. If you want to know what shooters trusted most with cash on the line, here it is. Let's get into the 10 handguns that outsold everything else when it actually mattered. This is the gun nobody hesitates on in December. There's no standing around the corner, no, maybe I'll check a few more. The CZ P10C draws the kind of buyer who already knows exactly what they want. They're not browsing, they're not looking for a deal, they're not asking a clerk for advice. Walk into any shop, and if a P10C is in stock, you'll see a confident hand grab it and head straight for the register. These are shooters who follow the forums, trust what works, and have already shot it before. They're not chasing influencer hype, they're here for the same ergonomics and reliability that CZ's built its name on for years now. What makes it unique? It's not a panic buy, not a gift gun, not some last-minute grab. It's never a range rental that changed someone's mind. It doesn't need sales, discounts, or marketing. Just a proven track record and real trust. The P10C doesn't move because of trends, it moves because serious shooters walk in with a decision made. And that's why, when it comes to December, this is a no-nonsense buyer's pick every single year. Nobody plans on buying a Walther PDP Compact in December. They walk into the range with something else in mind. Holiday time off, friends in town, cold weather outside. But then it happens. One magazine through the PDP Compact, and suddenly every other pistol feels like homework. It's the kind of gun that flips a switch. The trigger's so clean it makes experienced shooters blink, and the grip just melts into your hand. You see beginners running it better than their own gun. Confidence goes up, and so does curiosity. Most of these buyers never thought, I'm grabbing a Walther today. But after one session, they find themselves at the counter asking, you got the PDP Compact in stock? It's not about hype or panic. It's not even about price. The performance is what sells it. Easy handling, soft recoil, forgiving grip. It just makes people shoot better, plain and simple. And that's why shelves clear out faster just after a day or two at the range. This is the conversion gun. The one that creates believers on the firing line and not in the comments. And just wait until you see the next one. That one's moving for a reason nobody expected this December. If there's one gun that absolutely crushes the December gift crowd, it's the Canik TP9 Elite SC. This is the smart shopper's favorite. The gun that looks premium, shoots premium, but costs way less than people expect. You see it move in bulk right before the holidays. Parents grabbing a first carry gun for a son or daughter, buddies buying for friends, or just folks hunting for the best deal that doesn't feel cheap. It's not about panic or hype. The TP9 Elite SC moves because it nails that sweet spot. People want reliability and real performance, but they're not dropping a fortune. Holiday buyers walk in wanting value, and this one delivers way above its price bracket. One range session and it shocks you. Crisp trigger, optics ready slide, shoots as smooth as guns that cost twice as much. Add in Canik's frequent December promos like bundles, optics, and sales tags, and it becomes the safe gift that never feels like a compromise. People testing it realize instantly it's no beginner toy. It's a legit carry pistol with real bite to it. and the confidence you see when buyers leave with one. That's why this is December's Value King. Stick around though, because the next gun on this list has nothing to do with budget. It moves for a whole different reason. December brings in all kinds of buyers, but one group shows up more than anyone else. The folks who just want to get it right. No gimmicks, no drama, no I hope this works. They just want something that won't bite a new shooter, won't confuse a spouse, and won't send them back to the shop with issues. And that's exactly why the MP9 2.0 keeps selling. It doesn't try to impress you, it just behaves. Ask any dealer and they'll say this is the pistol they hand over when someone looks unsure. It's the you'll be fine with this option. No surprises, no headaches. It cycles clean, shoots soft, and feels familiar even if it's your first time holding one. Families lean toward it because nothing about it makes you second guess the choice. Returns? Almost none. Complaints? Rare. And when everything in December feels rushed in or last minute, that kind of track record is gold. People don't want experiments in December. They want something they'll never have to explain or fix. So yes, this is the steady one, the practical one, the one that just works. But the pistol sitting at number 6, that one sells for a completely different reason, and it's not safe at all. The G3C keeps moving in December because the performance finally matches the price. Not dramatically, not loudly, just consistently enough that people stop second guessing it. Buyers remember the old reputation, but once they run a magazine through this version, that hesitation disappears. The updates work, the reliability holds, and at December pricing, that's all most shoppers need. This month brings a specific kind of buyer, the practical add-on crowd. People picking up a secondary carry gun, a budget backup, or something that won't make them nervous if it gets scratched or beat up. The G3C fits that lane better than anything else on the shelf right now. Affordable, steady, uncomplicated. It's not trying to impress anyone, it just avoids problem. And for a December purchase, that matters more than branding or prestige. When money is tight and options are everywhere, a gun that simply behaves climbs quickly. That's why the G3C moves. Not hype, not nostalgia, not emotion. Just a calm, reliable upgrade from a name people used to overlook. And the next pistol? That one sells for a completely different December reason. Not budget, not backup, but something buyers actively seek out. There's nothing surprising about this one. The Glock 19 doesn't rise or fall on trends, and it doesn't need December deals to move. It sells because everyone already knows what it is, and that's exactly why it keeps climbing the charts this month. Most buyers step through the door with their minds already leaning a certain way. They've run a 19 before, or owned one, or swear by the word of someone who does. And come December, when folks are tired, cold, and in no mood to gamble on the wrong sidearm, the 19 doesn't show up as a suggestion, it shows up as the expected answer. The appeal isn't flashy, it's the consistency that matters. It runs in cold weather, runs dirty, runs with cheap and premium ammo. Stores love stocking it because nothing sits on the shelf for long, and buyers love choosing it because nothing about it feels like a gamble. Parts, mags, holsters, always reliable. And resale? Still the safest bet in the handgun world today. It's not the most dramatic pistol on this list, and that's the point. Some guns sell because they're impressive. The Glock 19 sells because it never gives anyone a reason not to. Now, number 4, this one's different. It doesn't win because it's popular, it wins because shooters walk through the door laser locked on this model and nothing else. This gun sells itself. The Ruger Max 9 shows up all over December, not because it's flashy, not because it's trendy, but it's the gun beginners stop questioning. New carriers pick it, and the hesitation disappears. It's small, light, and doesn't need that "this might kick too hard" signal that scares first-timers away. The controls are simple, the frame feels familiar, nothing about it asks the buyer to be skilled. That alone moves units in December. The price hits the exact middle ground, not bargain bin, but not premium either, just comfortable. And that's the lane December buyers stay in when they're overwhelmed, rushed, or trying to make the right choice for someone else. Ruger's reputation does the rest. Beginners trust the name because everyone around them does. Friends, instructors, spouses, nobody pushes back when a Max 9 is the choice, and that matters more than features. It's the pistol people choose when they want their first CCW to be quiet, simple, and unproblematic. No weird design, no steep learning curve, no intimidation factor. The Max 9 doesn't win December by being impressive, it wins by never giving a new shooter a reason to say no. Number 3 is where things get serious. Not a beginner's pistol. This is the one trained shooters lined up for, fully aware it demands more and gives even more back. Some guns sell because they're simple and reassuring, but the shooters walking toward the APX A1 aren't in that stage anymore. They've already done their Stardust CCW journey and now want something that feels like a genuine upgrade. This is where the APX A1 quietly wins. The moment you get your hands on it, the difference is obvious. Not in a flashy way, just in that, yeah, this feels right way that shooters trust more than any spec sheet. It has that smooth, deliberate character that makes newer budget guns feel a little basic. Not bad, just entry level. This one feels like you've matured past that, and that's exactly why experienced shooters gravitate toward it in December. They're not hunting deals or even panic buying. They're choosing something that lifts their whole kit without draining their wallet or turning into a long project. It's the upgrade people mean to buy. And if the APX A1 is the gun people step up into, the next one, that's the gun people chase because its name alone carries more weight than most guns do with features attached. There's always one gun in December that feels completely out of place with the rest of the month, but in the best way possible. The Shadow 2 is that gun. Nobody wanders into it. Nobody bumps into it during holiday shopping. This is the pistol people walk in already chasing, almost like they've been waiting all year to finally justify it to themselves. December just gives them the excuse. Easy to spot this kind of buyer. No questions, no second guessing, no stack of comparisons spread across the counter. They glance at the tag, give a single nod, and that's the whole exchange. These are the folks who've already locked down their carry piece, their spare, their beater gun, and now they're hunting for something that makes them rise to the iron, not the other way around. And the Shadow 2 hits them right in that pressure point, the I earned this zone. It's not about comfort or intimidation or even deals. It's about grabbing the gun that actually shows what their hands are really capable of. When they dry fire it, you can almost hear the decision lock in. It's the only pistol on this list that sells because shooters feel they're stepping into a higher tier of themselves. And the funny thing? The next gun somehow tops even that feeling. Some pistols rise in December because they surprise people, some because they're cheap, some because beginners feel safe with them. The FN 509 Compact rises for none of those reasons, and that's the point. By the time someone is considering an FN, they've already lived with the other carry pieces. They've already dealt with quirks, comfort issues, strange triggers, or that one pistol they just never fully trusted. December gives those buyers a moment to reset. Year-end cash, bonuses, or simply a decision they've been putting off. And when they finally decide to stop gambling with their carry gun, this is where they land. The FN 509 Compact doesn't need excitement, it doesn't need any introduction. It exists for the buyer who's tired of guessing. It's the one option in the case that feels settled, like you're stepping into something stable instead of trying something new. Stores love it because it never boomerangs back with complaints. Buyers love it because it removes the only thing that matters in December, doubt. And there's one more December seller that moves for a completely different reason. a reason that has nothing to do with safety at all. Cold weather changes how people carry. Hoodies come out, jackets get heavier, and suddenly the guns that felt too much in July become the obvious choice. The Hellcat Pro is the pistol that benefits from that shift more than anything else. It's the winter upgrade buyers don't debate, they just move to it because the season finally allows it. December buyers aren't chasing deals here, they're not experimenting, they already carry daily, they already know what they like, and winter gives them that permission to go slightly bigger without sacrificing concealment. The Hellcat Pro lands perfectly in that space. Real capacity, real control, still disappears under a coat and never feels bulky. People who downsized all summer start circling back to this one the moment layers go on, not because it's flashy, but because it avoids every winter drawback. It's stable, serious, and built for the months where you're walking more, traveling more, and trusting your gun in colder, unpredictable conditions. This isn't a fun pick. This is the winter carry upgrade people rely on when the temperature drops, the gun that wins simply because winter changes the rules. And before we wrap up here, there's one more pistol December buyers keep asking about. A quick bonus that earned its spot for its own exact reason. There's always that one pistol in the case that doesn't need hype, discounts, or Instagram photos to move. It just has a reputation that never fades. That's the VP9 for you. December brings in a lot of buyers who are done experimenting, tired of chasing trends, and want the answer old school shooters give when you ask, alright, what actually works? This is that answer. The VP9 feels instantly familiar even if you've never touched it before. No sharp edges, no weird angles, no learning curve. Just a pistol that settles into your hand like it's been there for years. Instructors recommend it quietly, range officers point to it without thinking, and veteran shooters, they don't argue about this one, they just nod. December buyers like that energy. When the year is ending and decisions feel heavier, people look for something proven, something that won't surprise them in a bad way. The VP9 is the evergreen pick that keeps showing up because it never lets anyone down. Not flashy or even budget-driven, just solid grown-up trust. This one wins because it's the old-school trust. And the next bonus? That one wins for another completely different reason for December. December has a way of pushing certain guns off the shelf without even trying, and the X Macro happens to be one of them. All year long, this thing sits in the case as the one-day pistol, the one shooters handle, admire, then step away from because the price feels like a commitment. But December changes the psychology completely. Extra holiday money, bonuses, leftover budget. Suddenly, the gun that felt too premium becomes the one people finally pull the trigger on. And that's why the X Macro moves harder in December than any other month. Not because it's discounted, not because it's hyped. It sells because December buyers finally give themselves permission to buy the pistol they actually wanted instead of the one they felt responsible choosing earlier in the year. Bigger frame feel, smooth control, grown-up capacity. It's the kind of upgrade that finally makes sense when December cash hits pockets, and stores feel the shift too. The X Macro doesn't linger in December. It gets picked up fast, often by people who've already circled it 3 or 4 times earlier in the year. And that's what actually sold this December. People don't gamble in December. They grab what they trust, and the numbers show it every year. I've seen it happen before. Some handguns vanish as fast as they show up, and others just never move, no matter the deal. And January's already looking interesting. New models, new rankings. We'll see which ones hold their ground. I'm Steve, and I'll see you in the next one.